He was the most unstoppable wide receiver in the NFL. Faster than the cornerback, sharper than the scheme, louder than the locker room. Antonio Brown didn't just play the game, he hijacked it. But somewhere along the way, the line blurred between brilliance and breakdown, between highlight reel and police report, between athlete and meltdown. This is not just a story of a man, it's a story of ego, fame, betrayal, and mental decay set against the most brutal sport on earth. This is Antonio Brown, from greatness to madness. Antonio Tavares Brown was born in Liberty City, one of the roughest parts of Miami, Florida. His dad, Touchdown Eddie Brown, was an arena football legend. His mom, a hard-working woman barely making ends meet. He was fast, raw, and broke. He'd run to school, sleep on friends' couches, no stability, no handouts, just ambition with a chip on its shoulder. After being kicked out of high school twice, then homeless at 16, AB still clawed his way into Central Michigan. He walked onto the team as a nobody. He walked off as their biggest star. By 2010, he was drafted by the Pittsburgh Steelers, 6th round, pick 195. He remembered every name taken before him. That list? Fuel. In Pittsburgh, he started quiet, special teams, kick returns, but by year 2, he exploded. Speed, precision, obsession. He trained like a man possessed. He'd run the same route 200 times until it was perfect. Teammates said he was the first in and last out. His motto? Business is booming. By 2014, he wasn't just elite, he was untouchable. 1,698 receiving yards, 13 TDs. Double coverage? Didn't matter. Antonio Brown was on track to be the greatest wide receiver since Jerry Rice, but off the field, the cracks had already begun. January 9th, 2016. The night Antonio Brown's brain may have never fully recovered. Cincinnati Bengals linebacker Vontaze Burfict launched full speed into Brown's head, a brutal, unpenalized hit that left him unconscious. He didn't play the next week, but something else didn't come back either. His balance, his behavior, his baseline. Teammates whispered it quietly. Coaches saw the mood swings. From that point on, Antonio Brown wasn't just eccentric. He was unpredictable. Paranoia, rage, alienation, all symptoms of something deeper, something neurological. As AB became more dominant on the field, he became more toxic off it. Fighting with coaches, blowing up at teammates, skipping practices, filming locker rooms after games, leaking private convos, live streaming team meetings. In 2018, the final straw came during Week 17. Brown skipped practice, fought with Big Ben, then showed up on Sunday expecting to start. He was benched. That was it. The Steelers, once his sanctuary, were done. In 2019, he was traded to the Oakland Raiders. But if Pittsburgh was the beginning of his peak, then Oakland was the beginning of the circus. Oakland was supposed to be his rebirth. $50 million contract, John Gruden hyping him as the future. But before he even took a snap, chaos erupted. First, he arrived to camp with frostbitten feet after a cryotherapy accident. Then came the battle over his outdated helmet. He refused to play without it. He skipped practices. He threatened the GM. He posted fines on Instagram. He secretly recorded John Gruden and leaked the audio. The Raiders had no choice. They released him before he ever played a down. And what did AB say after? "I'm free, Grandma. Call me." He burned $50 million in less than 30 days. Up next, he signs with the Patriots, gets accused of sexual assault, threatens witnesses, gets cut, banned, reinstated, wins a Super Bowl, exposes himself on Snapchat, and then runs shirtless off the field mid-game like a lunatic. This story only gets darker. After flaming out of Oakland, AB landed on the most disciplined team in football history, the New England Patriots. Belichick, Brady, the Patriot way. It was the last place anyone thought he'd fit. Tom Brady took him in like family, let him sleep at his house. Week 2 versus Miami Dolphins, Brown balled out. 4 catches, 56 yards, a touchdown. It was happening. But as always, the game couldn't outrun the headlines. Just days after joining the Patriots, Antonio Brown was accused of sexual assault and rape by his former trainer, Brittany Taylor. The lawsuit sent shockwaves through the league, but AB kept playing that, denying everything. Then a second woman came forward, and AB, in typical fashion, responded by allegedly threatening her via text. That was it. Robert Kraft cut him loose. 1 game, 1 touchdown, 1 giant disaster. Kraft got caught in the parlor. AB got cut. Sound fair? AB mocking his own owner online. The man couldn't stop lighting matches even while standing in gasoline. After New England, Brown descended into a public meltdown. Instagram lives cursing out the mother of his kids while cops stood nearby, streaming from bed while ranting about conspiracies, even recording music videos with lines like, "whole lot of money." The NFL was gone. Reality TV had begun. Accused of sexual misconduct by multiple women, sued for unpaid wages by chefs, trainers, personal drivers, throwing furniture off a balcony, arrested for battery of a moving truck driver. His inner circle thinned. His agent, Drew Rosenhaus, dropped him. His trainer left. His sponsors vanished. Brown had turned into the villain of his own movie, and he was directing it himself. Internet laughed, but doctors weren't. Antonio Brown's descent raised a darker question. Was this just ego, or was his brain damaged beyond repair? Neurologists pointed back to the perfect hit in 2016. Mood swings, paranoia, explosive rage, all symptoms of CTE. The only problem? CTE can't be diagnosed until death. Brown's behavior mirrored that of Junior Show, Aaron Hernandez, and other players who suffered traumatic brain injuries. But Brown didn't want therapy. He wanted a microphone and an audience. In 2020, out of nowhere, Tom Brady gave him a final lifeline. Brady pushed the Bucs to sign him, brought him into his home, again, treated him like a brother. This time, it worked. AB behaved, he produced. And on February 7, 2021, Antonio Brown did the impossible. He became a Super Bowl champion. For a brief moment, it felt like the redemption arc was real. But fairy tales aren't meant for men like Antonio Brown. Because in just 10 months, he'd blow it all up again. January 2nd, 2022, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers were down versus the Jets. Then, without warning, Antonio Brown removed his jersey, his pads, his gloves. He ran shirtless across the field, threw the peace sign, jumped into an Uber like nothing happened. It wasn't just a tantrum, it was a career suicide broadcast live to millions. Post-game chaos. Bruce Arians says AB is no longer a Buck. Brady defends AB, calls for compassion. AB drops texts, accuses Bucks of forcing him to play injured. One man screamed betrayal, the other begged for mercy. The NFL had never seen anything like it. After walking off the field, AB went full influencer chaos mode. He launched an OnlyFans, posted explicit content uncensored, partied with Kanye West, mocked Tom Brady's divorce publicly. Then came Dubai. Footage leaked of Brown exposing himself in a hotel pool. The international headlines weren't about football. They were about a fallen celebrity spiraling into scandal. Antonio Brown exposes himself in Dubai pool. AB accused of scamming NFT investors. Kanye West names AB president of Donda Sports. Antonio Brown became a living meme, a man with millions of followers and no one left to save him. In 2023, AB made one final power play. He bought an arena football team, the Albany Empire, promised to build a new dynasty. Instead, he refused to pay players, fired coaches, scammed staff, and got the team kicked out of the league. It was the AB experience distilled. Big talk, no follow-through, explosive headlines, burned bridges. By 2024, the legal avalanche was unstoppable. Arrest warrants in multiple states, child support drama, lawsuits from agents, chefs, and even his own teammates, allegations of fraud, defamation, and domestic violence. At one point, he even faked bank wire receipts to buy jewelry. Antonio Brown was now a walking indictment. 1.2 million owed in back child support, multiple bench warrants, claims of being broke while posting stacks of cash online. The empire had crumbled, and now even the vultures were losing interest. So what was it all? A tale of ego, of trauma, of fame devouring a man with a broken brain? Antonio Brown once stood at the peak of the NFL. He was everything a wide receiver could be: precision, speed, swagger, brilliance. And then he detonated. Maybe it was the perfect hit. Maybe it was untreated mental illness. Or maybe it was all just Antonio being Antonio. One of the greatest talents the game has ever seen, and one of the most spectacular implosions in sports history. Antonio Brown didn't just fall from grace, he sprinted from it, naked, screaming, streaming. And we all watched, because deep down we knew this wasn't a comeback story, it was a slow-motion crash, and no one, especially AB, was hitting the brakes.